Stanford just released their 2025 AI Index report, and it shows some shocking trends. But why should you care? Well, if you're a guy like me and you want to remain relevant, respected, and financially free, understanding what's happening with AI in the world is absolutely vital. And today we're going to cover some of the top charts, some of the top data points. We're going to throw some charts up. We're going to look at how AI sentiment is occurring, some advancements in AI. And if you're into understanding how AI is impacting your world, if you want to remain relevant, respected, financially free, this is the time to hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and maybe leave a comment below as we go along. Okay, so first let's start by throwing up this chart about AI's performance on some of the most demanding, difficult tasks and tests in the world, some of the most demanding benchmarks. And what we see is that AI is advancing very, very rapidly, and in some cases, significantly outperforming human beings. Bad news for guys like you and me that want to remain relevant, right? At any rate, one of the things that we've seen over the past year is AI video has just exploded. It is so much better now than it was just 12 months ago. You may have noticed this. There's AI video all over the place in ads, in reels, and in some cases, it's very difficult to even determine the difference between AI and reality. A lot of people are getting tricked. I've been tricked, and I'm pretty in tune to this stuff. We also see here, if you see this light blue line, we've seen a huge jump in AI's ability to handle some very, very complicated math problems. It is spiked. It kind of smoothed out a little bit recently, but it is spiked. We also see that its ability to handle PhD level science questions has increased dramatically over the past year. And you can see that in this dark green line. It's just completely spiked in its competency with these PhD level questions. And we've covered this on the channel before. Doctors, mathematicians, engineers, you know, these guys who handle some of the most complex, most difficult cases are now having customers and clients and patients coming into the office with some very sophisticated personal diagnoses, for better or for worse. Having an access to an AI LLM in a lot of cases is kind of like having a PhD in your pocket. That said, it could sometimes be wonky. So obviously you want to cross-reference with your doctor. Regardless, as you can see, the advancements in its ability to understand PhD level questions has just, I mean, I was shocked. I was shocked at how quickly that's improved. And at this point, in a lot of cases, outperforming human beings. Okay, this next chart we're gonna look at shows how much AI is being increasingly embedded in everyday life, from healthcare to transportation. And this chart shows the number of AI medical devices that were approved by the FDA all the way back from 1995 to 2023. And what you'll notice on this report, on this chart, is that over the past decade, the FDA has been increasingly approving more and more AI medical devices. And in fact, in 2018, there was a huge spike in approvals. And then you can see over the last 7 years, there's been about a 29% year over year increase in approved medical devices. Do you see that expanding or subtracting? I expect more and more AI medical devices to be approved. In fact, we're probably pretty close to being like Sigourney Weaver, an alien jumping into a pod and having it do surgery on us. I really don't think we're that far away. You may think I'm crazy. Feel free to type in the comments below. And what you also may not know, most people I don't think realize this, is that Waymo, autonomous vehicles, are now performing over 150,000 weekly trips. Every week, 150,000 people get a ride from an autonomous Waymo vehicle. Do you expect that to stop, slow down, or increase? I'm putting my money on increase. These autonomous vehicles are going to be everywhere. I'm not going to go on a rant on this, but I thought that is a shocking stat, a shocking data point. 150,000 weekly rides. Let's continue. What is the global feeling? What is the global optimism for AI? We're going to throw up a chart here, and this chart reflects movement in AI optimism from 2022 to 2024. Specifically, the statement, do you agree with the statement, products and services using AI have more benefits than drawbacks. And we're looking at this country by country, and I just want to highlight a few of the key ones. So many countries have actually increased, but there's a few that have decreased. Let's first cover the countries that have increased their AI optimism, let's say. So France and Germany increased about 10%, UK up about 8%, US increased 4%, up to about 40%. So there's still a lot of people that are kind of iffy in the United States about AI. I know who you are because I'm one of them. And what is really shocking to me is the decrease. The people that as more and more AI gets released, they become more and more skeptical. So Spain, Romania, and Chile all reduced their optimism by about 3 to 4%. But India's not happy. And I find this very surprising. I know there's a lot of Indian viewers on my channel, and you know, I love you. But gosh, they're 9% drop in optimism. They're, you know, from 2022 to 2024, nearly 10% of the population said, we're not big on AI. And what's interesting to me is I read through the comments and engage with people. A lot of people are in the States are upset with Indians for, you know, taking jobs or replacing jobs, and also upset at AI taking jobs or replacing jobs. But I think what you'll find is there's a lot that brings Americans and Indians together on this. India is very, very concerned about AI replacing their relevancy in the workplace. So anyway, you guys keep watching the channel. I'm gonna keep bringing the heat when it comes to things that you can do to remain relevant, respected, and financially free. Also, you might consider subscribing to my newsletter, which is also completely free, at aiupdate.ai. aiupdate.ai. I'm sharing all the best stuff that I'm learning and you should be learning about too. Let's look at this next chart here, which is also very interesting. And this is government regulation. And what we're looking at here is the number of AI-related regulations in the US from 2016 to 2024. Now, what we see here is that in 2024, the US introduced 59 new AI-related regulations. That's double what was introduced in 2023. I'm still waiting on the final numbers from 2025, but what we see here is that the government is stepping in and stamping their foot down on a lot of AI development, which I think is interesting. Also worth noting, globally, the legislative mentions for AI rose 21.3% across 75 countries in 2023. This marked a 9-fold increase since 2016. So more and more people and more governments are starting to step in and say, we need to check this out. Now, is that because they're concerned, these countries, these governments are concerned, the people are concerned about AI, privacy, ethics, things like that? Sure. But at the end of the day, guys, I think we always have to follow the money. And there are so many tens of billions of dollars being invested in AI. The governments have to step in. I mean, I just shared this a little while ago. I'll post a link to it here. Microsoft is investing tens of billions of dollars into AI infrastructure all over the world. They have plans to build out over 1,000 data centers globally. That's a lot of money, and that's a lot of governments that are going to want to put their thumb on the scale or off the scale. It's also worth noting that governments are also investing at large scale. Canada's pledged $2.4 billion to AI. China launched a $47.5 billion semiconductor fund. France has committed 109 billion euro. India's pledged $1.25 billion. It is absolutely just shocking what is happening in the AI world. And the reality is most guys are completely asleep on this. We'd rather think about football or pretty girls, and mazel tov, those are great things. But the reality is that this is the stuff that's gonna drive your career and your ability to stay relevant, respected, and financially free over the coming weeks, months, and years. Again, make sure you're subbed so you don't miss out. And if you enjoyed today's video, I go deeper into why Indians are so concerned about AI in yesterday's video. You can check it out here. Go ahead and click the link, and I'll see you over there. All right, boys, make it great. See ya. Peace.